Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode with Coffee with Chris, our home care podcast show. Today we got a really special guest with us and dear friend of mine, Dr. Eddie Z. Welcome.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, glad to have you. I know that you work with an ENT specialist in our local area of West Bloomfield. It's called Oakland ENT.
Yeah, we also have a practice in Troy as well.
Great. So West Bloomfield and Troy locations. Great. Yeah. So this is really important as a home care specialist. We really want to make sure we highlight people in our community that are exceptional specialists that take care of our seniors in the home and also in their facilities, and also who come to them actually to your clinic. And this Oakland ENT specializes, especially in synergy with our aging populations, because they help with hearing problems that a lot of our seniors have. And I know that we experience this with probably ourselves or our family members or our friends, and we just sometimes don't know the right person to talk to. So I thought Eddie Z would be perfect for everybody to hear about how he can help others. So tell me, Eddie, like how did you go into ENT? What was your passion, and tell us your story.
So initially, I wasn't in the academic field. I was kind of doing a different thing, and then my father has a severe to profound hearing loss, and I saw how much it impacted him and how much trouble he had, trying to get his hearing aids to work for him. It always seems to be a problem, right? Getting the hearing aids to work properly. So, that kind of gave me the motivation to want to get in this field. And once I did a little research and took the intro to audiology class, after that, it was a breeze. Everything kind of clicked for me and it all made sense. And I love to learn about it. So it was kind of like a natural fit.
That's great. And so, do your dad currently wear hearing aids?
He does. He's on his third set of hearing aids now.
They're
The last two were two that I helped him with, and he actually wears them. So we have some improvement there because before
good.
he never used to wear them.
It's good communication. So let's go into that. Let's talk about that a little bit more, because a lot of our aging population are on the fence about actually having hearing aids, or a common thing that we always hear is, "I lost my hearing aid. What do I do next?" But you said your dad is on your third one. So what makes them switch, and what kind of process is it to actually for you to evaluate for somebody to even get there and get
So
hearing aids?
one of the most important things is a strong relationship with your audiologist. The patients need to be able to express themselves to me and kind of fill me in on what's going on in their personal life and trust me with that information, and also have the confidence that I have the expertise to make the changes to customize it for them. Um, it's the number one factor to success with hearing aids is a motivated patient. After that, I would say just a strong relationship with your audiologist will make a world of difference for you. The technology is continuously evolving. It feels like every 3 to 4 years they have a breakthrough in technology and the devices become way more advanced and the patients are even more happy. A lot of the complaints I get from patients are, well, my brother has hearing aids or my grandma or my dad, and they always had ABC issues. A lot of those things are not issues anymore because the technology has advanced quite a bit.
Yeah, and so it's they go through the process and they come to meet you. What kind of tests are they going through to make sure that, hey, listen, they actually need to go through with this?
The first thing we do always is take a look in the ears. Otoscopy is something that's overlooked a lot of times, but sometimes they don't have a hearing problem and they just need their wax cleaned, and we can offer that kind of service. But if they ears are clear of wax and they're still noticing the hearing difficulty, then we do what's called an audiogram. It's a hearing test. Um, After that, usually if the patient is a appropriate recommendation, we'll see them back in the office for the next appointment called a hearing aid evaluation. We'll spend the whole hour with them during the hearing aid evaluation process and let them try the hearing aids on and make sure that they're comfortable with it. And then we kind of build a plan from there.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so there's different brands out there, and I know that there's different kinds. You and I discussed it before. You go to Costco and you can get a hearing aid if you want to. What separates coming from you just going somewhere else versus coming to Oakland ENT? What differentiates it, you guys?
Sure. That's a really good question. First, let's start and talk about Costco. That's the big elephant in the room. Most of my patients that come in and discuss hearing aids with me ask about Costco. So it's something that, we discuss quite a bit in our profession. It's probably one of the biggest factors to continued success in the field of audiology. But you just can't get the service or the expertise that we provide at a place like Costco. Um, there is not really too many bad hearing aids today. Most hearing aids are suitable. It's just finding which one is the best for you specifically and getting it programmed appropriately to make it customized for you. Um, as an audiologist, I went through a doctorate program to become an expert in hearing and hearing aids. And, the fact that I'm here and, um, able to see these patients and have so many happy patients, it says a lot about the service you get when you come to a private audiology or ENT practice.
Yeah, and now does insurance cover this, or is this private pay?
Some insurance will cover. Usually it's a corporate insurance policy or like a retirement policy that will have a hearing aid benefit. I know that the retired UAWs have hearing aid benefits. Active and retired school teachers have hearing aid benefits, state employees. Typically, larger or governmental corporations will have some kind of hearing aid rider as a benefit on their policy. But if you just have a private, Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever it may be, a lot of times those don't have a hearing aid benefit. So it would be an out of pocket expense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then you mind sharing? Is it typically they have to go through a consultation before they actually figure out what the cost is?
I'm pretty open with pricing. If I'm out of somebody's budget, there's no need to really go that extra mile. But the typical price range for current technology is anywhere at about $7,000 on the very premium end to about 2,500 on the entry level end, and then we have everything in the middle.
Yeah.
We can get less expensive with pricing by going backwards some generations in the technology, but for current up to date technologies, you're looking at anywhere in that range.
I know for myself, for my parents, I would not no less go than having them have the best. And why would you not want to have them see by a physician and go through the whole process of having the test to make sure that they're going to get the right thing, the right product, and also oversee with the communication. I know like, my parents, if there's an issue, they're not calling me all the time about their problems. Who are they calling? They're calling you.
Yeah.
They're calling the doctor
Sure.
and have advice. And a big thing that we see all the time is I wanted to address with you in this podcast is that always hear about them losing their hearing aids and all the time and in the hospitals and the rehabs and in transition or in their home and all that. Do you hear this all the time? Like, I like my mom lost my hearing aids. What do I do?
Lost hearing aids are an issue, especially with the elderly population. They're forgetful. Their sense of touch and their tactile feel isn't as strong. So if something falls off, they're not as prone to noticing it as somebody that's a little more younger and not aged as much or matured as much. With loss, the hearing aids typically come with a warranty for repairs and a policy for loss where you pay a deductible and get a replacement device from the manufacturer.
And that is
Usually,
great because that's what a lot of people need to know is that, going through that process, a lot of our clients, I see that they don't even go back and get another one, or they don't even go back to their doctor because I don't even, I don't think maybe it's too much of a hassle to go do a consultation and go see it. Would you ever go and consult somebody if they can't make it, leave their home, and actually talk to them about having your services, or would you primarily like to have them come to your facility?
Primarily, I'm working in the office. There are very special circumstances where we can travel and see the patient, but we try not to get into that too much because there's just way too much equipment, way too many supplies, and way too many things that could potentially be an issue where, I'm going to
Yeah.
have to travel there, inspect the hearing aid, take it back to my office, or come back with supplies. Hopefully, they're the right supplies. Something that I've seen a lot and a lot of my patients take advantage of is drop offs. Some adult children, typically, or other caretakers can bring the hearing aid, drop it off at the front desk, and they don't have to wait. I can, inspect it once I get a moment and fix it up and make sure that it's working well, and then leave it at the front desk for them.
Oh, beautiful. So that's another thing. Repairs. You can offer repairs. That's
Something
great. So if
one
there's
more
something
thing one more
wrong,
thing I wanted to say, going back to kind of the ENT side of things, there's a huge benefit to getting your hearing aids in an ENT clinic. Having so when there's a foreign object in your ear, as the hearing aid is, your body's more prone to create wax. Especially with consistent usage. So, what's the best way to clean wax out of your ears? You see a medical specialist to do it. The ENTs are pretty quick, and it's usually a very painless and simple process where they go in and get that wax out, and then
yeah. So you don't recommend the old school, put the fire wax in the ear?
in my experience, I don't see those earwax candles really helping much. You're just seeing actually candle wax when you pull that out of your ear. So it's
Yeah.
it's an old wives' tale that can clear the earwax out.
Yes, that's great. So so Eddie, Dr. Z, tell us what's the best way for someone to set up a consultation with you and just talk to you about about setting up with audiology.
Sure. The best
Yeah.
way really is to send me an email. I check my emails constantly. I think Chris has it up on the screen here, but it's eddieaudio@oaklandent.com. You'll get a response from me. I pride myself on my number one, punctuality, and number two, my responsiveness. I want my patients to know and feel comfortable that if they have an issue, I'll be there for them. Alternately, for somebody that doesn't really get into email too much, you can call and leave me a message on my extension. That's my private line at work, and I'll get your message and give you a call back within a day or so. Again, punctuality and responsiveness is something that I really try to deliver to all of my patients.
That's great. Say I have the number up on the board for Dr. Z to be able to contact him, and I'll put the email up right there for everyone. So if you have any questions, you can always contact me too, and I always can direct you to Dr. Z. So here you guys heard it from the specialist over here. So if you have any questions and concerns about your parents who that have any type of audiology or ENT concerns, the Oakland ENT will be glad to contact you guys and be able to set you guys up. So thank you for your time. Appreciate you, Dr. Z, and hopefully I'll see you soon.
Sure. Real quick, I just want to say that we have a brand new website that just went live earlier this week, oaklandent.com. There's a bunch of resources on there and a bunch of information for people that just want to learn more and don't necessarily feel like they are at the stage where they need to reach out quite yet. You can check out our website and find a ton of good information.
Oh, great. Yeah. So oaklandent.com.
Yes, sir.
Is that great? All right, great. So everyone check that out too as well. So thank you for your time. Appreciate you so much. And welcome everyone to our Coffee with Chris and Home Care podcast show over here with Affinity Senior Care. If you see this information being valuable for you, please hit that like button. We appreciate it. And please comment any questions you have for Dr. Z. This will be posted on the Affinity pages and also on all of our broadcast channels. And we will have Dr. Z also tag himself to be able to contact him on any social media platforms. You can go ahead and just reach out to him as well too. Again, pretty grateful for everyone who listens to our show. And thank you for all of us who are always on our show, like you, Dr. Z, providing the best type of resources in our community.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Welcome to our show, Coffee with Chris. Our mission is to provide you with home care tips, education, and resources to ensure you receive the quality care you deserve in the comfort of your home.